All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for volunteering to help out with Convocation this year. So this little presentation is going to it's go over what you're going to be responsible for. It's essentially training since I'm not going to be able to meet with all of you before this Saturday. So the first thing I want to discuss is getting to your respective campus. As many of you saw, you are not assigned to the campus that you're going to live on. So it's going to be important that you coordinate rides or that you take the bus in order to arrive on time. So you can start working on that now over the next few days. If you have any issues, please contact me, preferably over text, and I will see what I can do for you. Now you're probably asking yourself, all right, what time am I supposed to show up? Where am I going exactly? Uh, well, the good thing is that I've uploaded all this information onto the Google Drive. So if you go into the summer 2016 folder, there's going to be a folder that says Convocation, and it will lead you to a document that looks like this. So you'll see this document here, and essentially it is a information sheet about what is going on with regards to the buses during convocation. You'll see that there is the campus that is designated, your OL check-in time. You'll notice that everybody is at 3 p.m. This includes the Bush folks. I know it's not listed there, but everybody is to arrive to their meeting at 3 o'clock. We know that some of you will be assisting with the parent and family programs that morning and will be ending at 3, so you'll just arrive as soon as you can. You'll see the other column that says number of buses. You can that's going to be important because those should be the number of buses that are at your respective location. You could go ahead and ignore the part that says time of transport group. You see that column there. You can also kind of ignore the passengers and even the types of buses. The next big thing for you is that column that says orientation leaders, and again, that designates what campus you are assigned to. So for instance, Cook, it's going to be Lauren, Sean Patrick, Alex LP, and Sam Cuffey. You could see, for example, also on Bush, it's going to be Andrew Hanna, Steph Aronis, and Tim Chow. So you're probably wondering, where should I go at 3 o'clock, right? So what you're going to be doing is you'll see the pickup. You'll see there's a little bit of a table towards the bottom that says starting campus pickup location and drop off location. So if you're assigned to Livingston, you're going to go to the Quads bus stop. If it's College Avenue, it's the College Avenue Student Center. If it's Cook, it's the Beale Road bus stop. And if it's Douglas, it's the College Hall bus stop. If you're at Bush, you are heading straight to the west gate of the Bush, the stadium on Bush, High Point Solution Stadium. So again, you're heading over to the west gate. Now, when you arrive at 3 o'clock, what should you do? So what you're going to do is, all of you are going to designate a lead, right? You're going to determine who is going to be the person who is in contact with me via their phone. And so, for instance, I'm going to go back here. So let's take College Avenue, for example. Let's say that Monica Douglas gets designated as the lead, right? There she is. So what she is going to do is, once everybody arrives, she is going to go ahead and text me to let me know that everyone is there. She is also going to text me once she knows that all the buses have arrived, right? So once she sees all 11 buses, she'll also text me to let me know that all the buses arrived. So again, she's going to text me 3 different pieces of information. Monica Douglas is going to say, Frankie, she's going to text me and say, Frankie, this is Monica Douglas. I'm going to be your lead for the College Avenue campus. Everyone is here. And then she's going to text me later when the buses actually arrive. Buses should hopefully be arriving around 3:30, 3:40, and no bus will be leaving their campus before 4 o'clock. So that's very key to know. No bus will be leaving any of their campuses before 4 p.m. So again, you're going to go ahead and designate a lead. They're going to send that information. Now, once the buses arrive, people are going to start to load their buses. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be arriving there, and it's going to essentially be your job to try to help people load onto their buses as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Again, nope, stopped recording. Great. Okay, so now I think this is working again, hopefully. So anyway, towards the bottom of the page here, what you're going to see is Livingston campus. So at 4 o'clock, the quad 1, quad 2, and the Livingston apartments will be there. And you'll see that it'll be approximately 696 students. You don't necessarily have to worry yourself with the exact number of students that are there. Again, it's the resident assistants and the apartment assistants who are responsible for getting their students there. You're just there trying to make sure that loading all those people onto the buses that are available happens as quickly as possible. At 4:30, you'll see that the next group are going to be there, and that's going to be Quad 3 and the Towers. And again, that's about 702 students. For the College Avenue campus, you're going to notice that the first round of folks is going to be about 704, then 748, and then finally 449. College Avenue is going to be very, very busy, as you can tell. And then if you look at Cook and Douglas at the bottom, everyone's going to be arriving at once. Now, because Cook and Douglas are kind of a little bit spread out, we imagine that that's going to be some natural staggering. Same thing with College Avenue, to be quite honest. And while they have designated times that they're going to arrive, some people are going to arrive later. But you'll see with Cook, we have approximately 847 students that are going to be there, and then 977 students for Douglas. Now, what you're going to want to notice as we go back here is that we have enough buses for all of these folks for it to be fairly seamless. You have 11 buses for Livingston, you have 11 for College Avenue, you have 14 for Cook, and you have 16 for Douglas. All right, so you got everybody on the buses. What you're going to do is once you start to feel as though not a lot of people are showing up and you got most of the students onto the buses, so this is probably going to happen sometime around 4:40 or so. Your lead will text me and say, "Hey Frankie, I think everybody's here. There's not a lot of people showing up left, and you're gonna get on a bus with the final students and you're gonna head over." Okay. Now we're gonna ask you to wait for some stragglers because it happens every year. So the last bus that you get on may only end up having like 6 or 7 students on it. May only have even 1 or 2. But you're going to want to start to text me, or excuse me, the lead specifically is going to want to start to text me once they get the sense that there's nobody else coming, if that makes sense, or that there's only a few people showing up, and then I will let them know whether or not you all can get on that last bus and come on over, okay? So that is the loading of buses. And again, all this information, you can find it on the Google Drive under Summer 2016 folder. And then there's going to be a folder that says Convocation. Now, what will Bush actually look like? Well, next slide here. So you're going to see, I've diagrammed this for you here. At the corner of Scarlet Knight Way and Steupen Road, right? There on the other side of the road there, in front of kind of like the practice football field, field F, I believe. That's where the Cook and Douglas buses are going to go, and they're going to drop off, right? The folks who get off at that bus stop, our Cook Douglas students, are then going to walk down Steupen Road towards the north entrance, right? For our College Avenue and Livy buses, they're going to go into the west parking lot there, and they are going to go into the west entrance. And we're going to assist, we're going to have some student staff there, basically our folks that are designated for Bush. We're going to split you up. Ashleah and Allison will be on the north entrance side, and you'll be assisting with getting people into there. And on the west side, it will be myself and Kate and a few people, and we're just basically going to try to get people moving towards the west entrance and into the building. You'll also notice I've designated the field there in the bottom left-hand corner of where Carnival will be, right? And in case you're not overly familiar with the stadium, here's what the north entrance looks like. And here's the west entrance. So there's going to be one little plot twist for those of you that have attended Convocation before. Notice that previously I circled where Carnival will be, but this year there is no barbecue, okay? Typically there's been a barbecue that goes along with Carnival. That it will not be the case this year. Instead, students who are entering the stadium will receive a lunch, a dinner. It's going to be a bagged dinner. And I'm going to show you now where they're going to be picking those up. So for the folks entering the north gate, it's going to be right there. You'll see that I kind of blew up that one area in front of the north gate. Inside that plaza area, there's going to be about 7 tables, I want to say. One of them will be designated red, and that'll be for folks with who have basically food allergies or specific dietary needs or restrictions. But essentially, dining will be staffing that area. And what's going to be happening is that as all those students are coming in, they're now picking up a lunch. Um, the meals, so that's going to be the meals for the north gate. And as you can probably guess, the meals for the west gate will happen right in front of that entrance there. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something. Hopefully it works on this slide. Yep. This is from 2 years ago. Okay. These are people trying to get into the stadium, and this is during the downtime. This is once we had most everybody in. And as you can see, it's still a lot of people trying to get in. You can see that they pause there because they can't have everybody going at once. They kind of have to pause people in order to seat them properly and make best use of the space. And that's a quick little time lapse there. So in any case, that is what we're dealing with without having to give meals. You can imagine that this might be more difficult when there are meals that are being given out. So one of the things that, again, why we're really relying on you in terms of being efficient, of getting people onto the buses, is to really help expedite the process of people getting people to the stadium so that they can get in line and get in their meals. This is the first time this is happening. I'm sure there will be some complications, but with your patience and assistance in terms of getting people onto the buses, we'll be good. All right. But remember, we want to do so in a polite and friendly way. We don't want to yell at people. We don't want to make them feel like they're cattle that we're getting onto a cart. We just want to help them be as quick as possible. Now, once convocation starts, we'll go inside the stadium. I am hoping that the folks who were designated to come in at 6, if you could please actually get there closer to 5:30, preferably 5, I would love that. And that's only because we're really going to need your assistance once convocation ends. Again, once convocation starts, we'll enter the stadium. We'll watch a bit of it. You'll be able to see some of your OTLs who will be walking the field, carrying flags. They're a part of this as well. But I'm going to show you why we need all of you on the next slide here. So here you're going to see that everybody's going to be going to Carnival after the convocation is over. And what I've done is I've designated 4 different routes for people to go, and you're going to be assisting in moving people from the stadium down to the field where the carnival will be. Okay. So you're basically just going to be taking hundreds of students at once, right? If I looked at our staffing correctly, each one of you, for each OL that is working, there are approximately 230 students, right? Like that's a crazy number. So what I tried to do was create all these different routes so that it felt less overwhelming. You'll all be assigned a route to go down once I have everybody there at the stadium. And so let's take a look at some of these routes. First, let's look at that blue route leaving from the north gate. So you're going to go down Stupin Road all the way. You do not go down Athletes Glen, right? We want you to go all the way down Stupin Road and then make a left make a left onto Scarlet Knights Way and then make another left. And you're going to enter into the stadium. You'll see these little white arrows on the field. Those white arrows are the 5 designated entrances. You're going to see that I tried to give every entrance a designated route here. So again, that blue one, you're going to be going down Stupin Road, up Scarlet Knights Way, and then making another left and entering there. You're then going to see, let's keep it with the north gate here as well. Again, you're going to see that red arrow. And again, you're going down Stupin Road again. You're making a left onto Scarlet Knights Way, but you are continuing all the way up and then making a left onto Fitch Road. and you're entering through that back entrance there. Okay, so again, that is to basically not have everything being super clogged. If you can imagine, there's going to be about 6,500 people at the stadium, maybe 7,000, and they're going to be trying to get in through 5 different entrances. So you can imagine that this is going to be a little bit of a process. It's going to be a little bit of herding cattle. So yeah, you just got to be patient, and you got to try to be. You're just herders at this point, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean you're basically just trying to move massive amounts of people, and getting them to follow you. And obviously you can see what the challenge is going to be, especially for the people leaving at the north gate, is making sure that not everybody makes that initial left with the blue crew, right? But that some people are following you all the way down Scarlet Knight's Way and making that left onto Fitch Road, because otherwise you're just going to get hundreds and hundreds of more people than are necessary going down that road with the blue route, right? So let's focus on the west gate now. You're going to see kind of that orangish route, and those folks are going to be cutting through that little pathway there that leads them towards the practice bubble, and you're just going to take the path that follows along the practice bubble, and it's going to shoot you right in front of one of the entrances there. Okay, so you're going to use that one entrance. Now, as you can imagine, there's 2 entrances there near each other, the blue and the orange, for the blue and the orange routes. So there's going to be a little bit of, I don't want to call it chaos, but there's just going to be a lot of people in that area, and you just want to get people in as quickly and as safely as possible. Okay. Lastly, you kind of have this purplish, pinkish route, and this is probably our longest route here. And you're going to go all the way down, right? You're not going to make any shortcuts. You're going to go all the way down to what is Fitch Road as well. And you will basically be making a right onto Fitch Road. And you're going to go all the way up. I know that's another song reference. And you're going to go right in here. Now, you're going to notice that this is just one entrance. If there's a big backup of people, some of the other OLs can bypass this entrance and keep going up, up, up all the way and enter through this other back entrance. You'll see that I created kind of like this these dashed lines going to this other back entrance here. And so you can use that. The other people that could obviously use that back entrance is our red route leaving from the north gate, who's going up Scarlet Knight Way. So those back entrances are really going to be helpful for both obviously that red route, and for the folks using that pinkish purple route who feel like there maybe is a log jam for their initial entrance into the carnival. So after that, you can enjoy the carnival. You could kind of hang out for a bit, and then starting at 7 o'clock, buses will go back to the areas where they drop students off, and they will go there so that if students want to go back to their campuses, they can. This is where we will need you again, basically between about 7:15 to indefinitely until I release you for the evening. And we're going to need you at specific locations. And that is because when people walk to the carnival, it's going to be in a large group. It's going to be daylight out. But by the time they go back, it is very likely that it's going to be dark, and they're not going to know exactly what direction that they're going. So you'll see these little circles here, and that's where we're going to have you all strategically placed so that you can direct people again towards the west gate if folks are going back to College Avenue and Livingston, and then over to the corner of Scarlet Knight Way and Steupen Road if they are going to Cook Douglas. All right. You can see why this would make sense to have people in these areas, because as people are leaving the carnival field and leaving the main entrances, they're going to need folks at all these locations just to kind of point them in the right direction. Okay. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully this was not an excruciating 15 minutes of your time. And if you have any questions, please feel free to text or email me, FMZ5. Again, that's FMZ5 at echo.rutgers.edu. And in addition, you can go ahead and even save your questions for the day of. I'll be happy to answer them there. Okay? All right. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Bye bye.